Hi there, the Vinyl Vulture here. Hope you're well. Here I am in Lichfield. You can hear the bells ringing, and the birthplace of Dr. Johnson, who invented the typewriter, I think. And here we are outside Stylus Records. Well, you must check it out, and a quirky little building too. So anyway, let's go take a look. So there we are, Stylus Records in Lichfield. I absolutely love this shop. It's a tiny, quirky little place. From outside, you think, oh, it's like a little hut or something, you know. But when you go inside, there's so many records, so much choice. As you walk in, on your left, you'll find all the second-hand things. And on the right, all the brand new stuff. And then up on the walls and on the shelves, there's just loads of box sets, loads of different ones. I did notice an Elvis Costello box set that I was very tempted by. It was just over £100, so I resisted for today. Tim, who runs it, along with his partner, I believe, they were super friendly, really nice, really chatty, and really helpful. I really love this record shop. It was one of my favourite ones I've visited so far. Although I was told they're going to be relocating in February 2026 to a bigger shop. At the moment, there's currently only about 30% of their stock, so they've got loads more that could be displayed out. I am looking forward to seeing the shop when it opens in February in bigger premises. I'll definitely be doing another video on that. There's also a good selection of singles and EPs, and some Beatles EPs as well, all in very good condition. I was very tempted by those too. I could have easily spent a couple of £100 in there. An amazing selection of jazz. Most of it was new stuff, but they also had some second-hand stuff as well. I also found a couple of LPs by one of my favourite artists, a guy called Bjorn Svensson. Now, you don't see too much of his vinyl here in the UK. I have seen it on the continent, particularly in Bratislava and places like that. So it's really nice to see some Bjorn Svensson records in there. They also had some great offers on. You could get 3 for the price of 2 on second-hand records, which I took them up on. I grabbed myself some bargains, so I was well pleased with that. And look, he even gave me a business card. Well, several things caught my eye today in Stylus Records, but I managed to whittle it down, that's right, whittle it down to 3. The first one is this, Let Them Roll, or Let 'Em Roll by Big John Patton. I didn't know much about Big John. I mainly brought this because it has Grant Green on there. Grant Green is one of my favourite jazz guitarists. Some of you may know some of Grant Green's work. It's become more popular in later years, especially with these Blue Note reissues. Yeah, didn't say it's a Blue Note one. And it is a reissue. It's not an original, sadly, although original would probably cost me a good chunk of change. It's not in mint condition, but it's very good condition. I've played it through. There's a few little hairline things going on, but you wouldn't notice. For £15, I thought this was a bargain, but with the 3 for 2 offer, this one was free because you get the cheapest one free. Obviously, Big John Patton was a Hammond organ player, kind of soul jazz and with a bit of bluesy kind of things going on, especially with Grant Green, who's more of a kind of, well, I wouldn't say he's a blues player, but he has a lot of blues in his playing. It's quite funky in places, has a very kind of kitsch 60s kind of feel to it, especially with the vibes on there, played by Bobby Hutchinson, whose name I recognise from other Blue Note albums. It's not like Coltrane or Wayne Shorter or any of those big hitters. It's more in the Jimmy Smith kind of vein, and I'm a fan of Jimmy Smith too. This is a good addition, so there we go. Let 'em roll, Big John Patton. Let me know what you think. Next one is Squeeze singles. I'm a huge Squeeze fan, have been since I was a kid. Bought all their albums on CD originally. This was down for £19. It's in near mint condition, as you can see. The vinyl, I don't think it's been played much, which is scandalous because why wouldn't you play Squeeze singles? They're just great, all great songs. Squeeze, an amazingly underrated band, more known for their singles, but they did some fantastic albums too. Argy Bargy, East Side Story, Some Fantastic Place. These are all great records and need to be listened to and shouted about. So here I am. I actually had the privilege of playing a few songs live with Glenn Tilbrook when I was 21. What an experience that was. It was amazing. I was buzzing for about a year off that. And he was such a nice guy and an amazing musician. And Squeeze are an amazing band. This album, obviously, it's the first time I've owned it on vinyl, and I'm going to enjoy playing, just putting this on and letting it turn. So let me know what you think of Squeeze. Next one is Sound Effects by The Jam. Look at that, in really good condition. This was down for £17. It's got the insert, as you can see, which is in pretty good condition. Yeah, the vinyl had a few little hairline things on it, but I played it through and it sounds great. For me, it's probably their best album. It's when Weller was at his songwriting peak in the Jam era anyway, because he's got so many different eras to choose from. I was a huge Weller fan when I was about 20, 21 years old, when I was a mod. But the Jam were always my kind of gateway into Paul Weller's music. I still enjoy his music now, although I'm not a huge fan of his new stuff, but I respect his artistic output. It's incredible how he's still going and still coming up with fresh ideas. So fair play to Mr. Weller. This album featured the hits Start and That's Entertainment. It's all got Pretty Green on here, which I love, and Monday, which is great. I forgot how prominent Bruce Foxton's bass playing is on this record. He's in the McCartney kind of camp in terms of his approach to playing the bass, but slightly more aggressive, I would say, like a punk version of, or a new wave version of Paul McCartney on the bass. His harmonies are superb too. Very simple, very straightforward. There's nothing majorly complicated about what they do or any of their records, but that's not the point. They're very direct and so are the lyrics. Now, some of the lyrics, they're very angular. They don't always kind of flow that easily, but that's part of the charm for me. I like the fact that Weller kind of forces some of those lyrics into the rhythmic meter. It's all about English life generally, and he's just singing about what he knows. Being English, I can relate to it. I love this cover too. It just says so much about the music and about that time as well. 1980 this came out. Also that year, Black Sea by XTC came out. And I see these two, Black Sea and this album, I see them quite similar in some ways. I've never heard anyone else mention the Jam and XTC together, but there is some similarity. I would say with the angular kind of guitar approach that Paul Weller and Andy Partridge had at that time. Maybe it's just that era where everyone was influencing each other. So, and along with Elvis Costello and Joe Jackson and all those other great singer-songwriters that had bands behind them. So anyway, let me know what you think of these records I've shared today. If you don't own it, you should go out and grab it or listen to it on Spotify. But no, don't listen to it on Spotify. Go and buy the album at your local vinyl shop. There we go. There's my records from Stylus Records today in Lichfield. I urge you to check it out. If you're going there next year, then just remember that they may have moved location, so check on their website or their Instagram pages. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.